In other news making headlines this morning, the Public Servants Association says its members are ready for today's strike. Talks between unions and government have deadlocked, with workers demanding a 6.5% hike, while the state is only offering 3%. In fact, some members are already gathering in Pretoria and will be making their way to the National Treasury offices later on this morning. In fact, Newzroom Afrika's Modise is live to us now from the capital today. And Nobuhle, I wonder what the turnout is looking like today, especially because government has been clear that the no work, no pay principle will be applied.
Indeed, and members are slowly trickling in here at Marabastad on Struben Street, and they will be making their way to the National Treasury. They are supposed to meet here from 9 a.m., so they are still early, but I'll just ask my colleague Morena to just pan to my right just to show you how many members have since arrived. It is slowly picking up. Some members we know are expected to be here in their numbers from 9 a.m. upwards. We know that there's members coming in from Mpumalanga and other parts of the province, even though we know that other members will be gathering in other parts of South Africa and other provinces, but there are people from other provinces coming right here to Marabastad. And I am actually joined by the chief negotiator of the PSA here in Gauteng, Mr. Jannie Oosthuizen. Mr. Jannie Oosthuizen, I just want to find out from you. Obviously, you know, there's a deadlock. Does this set the tone for how negotiations will take place from here on regarding government stance?
Well, with the current arrogance of the government, yes, it seems to me that is the way forward. The only way forward, and what the government understand is to take to the streets. If you take the Eskom strike, if you take the Transnet strike, if you strike, you get a decent increase. Currently, the employer have just sent a circular to implement the 3% unilaterally, which we regard as an attack on collective bargaining, and our constitutional rights is infringed upon. We will not allow such arrogance of the employer, and that's why we are here. We demand our 10%. We demand that the employer will come to the party with its revised offer and revise its 3%. Either they have implemented the 3% or not. We want a better offer. On the lowest level, it is 164 rand before tax deductions. Who can survive with 164 rand additional? And on top of that, it's for the past 3 years that no government employee has received a pensionable increase. How can we allow that as unions? Then what is our future? We cannot allow that, and that's why we are here in unison to show the government that we will not accept the arrogance and the stance that they have done now at this stage.
And Mr. Oosthuizen, speak to us about that discontinuation of the cash gratuity that you are also having a problem with as the PSA.
Yes, 100%. Currently, there's cash gratuity that was implemented due to an agreement that was signed last year by the majority of parties. And then the employer was quick to move because it was a majority signature. Now there's no majority signature. They want to take away the 1,000 rand from the 31st of March 2023. That will mean that members will be less than 1,000 rand cash in pocket from coming March 31st March 2023. We asked the employer, it will not cost you a cent because you've already budgeted for that. Give us a protection clause that cash gratuity will continue after the 31st of March 2023. They're arrogant. They said it will not continue. That is the end of it, and that's what they put on the table. So unfortunately, all the gains that we as Labour has made throughout the years in collective bargaining, the employees currently trampling upon. Most of these ministers were a part of the unions that time. Now they're on the other side, and now the arrogant stance. It is totally unacceptable from the PSA side.
Just sticking to this gratuity, we know that it's not pensionable. How does this affect workers?
Well, it has effect because the pensionable increase has not been increased by government. So they are saving a lot of money. The government employees have actually lost 10.7% for the past 3 years. There was no contribution on top of their pension. So they are worse off each and every time. When they need to go on pension, they will be worse off because the pension has not grown. And that is also not acceptable for us as PSA.
Thank you, Mr. Oosthuizen. That was Mr. Jannie Oosthuizen, who is the chief negotiator at the PSA here. And we are expecting, like I said, more members to trickle in as we head up to 9 a.m.
Modise, live to us there from the capital in Marabastad, to be more specific. Thanks very much indeed.